House Democrat Susan Wild sent 2 contradictory letters about her views on the ongoing war in Gaza to constituents who actually called on her to back Israel. Now, according to the Washington Free Beacon, which provided the 2 letters to readers, this is what happened. So one of those letters demanded or declared support for Israel and its right to defend itself. The other called for international pressure on the Jewish state and an immediate ceasefire. So Wild inadvertently sent one version to a mother and another version to the daughter. The mother-daughter team sent a letter urging her to support Israel, and Representative Wild essentially sent 2 contradictory letters to both individuals. Now, in the pro-Israel letter, the congresswoman said she was outraged and devastated and heartbroken over the vicious Hamas attack. She expressed support for the Israeli people and all fellow Jews and reiterated Israel's right to defend itself. She also pledged to do everything I can as your representative to ensure Israel has the ability and capacity to restore and maintain its security and safety of all its citizens. And what about the second letter? What was the messaging in that? Well, something entirely different. The focus was more on the suffering of the Palestinian people. In the contradictory letter sent to the daughter, the congresswoman also said she was outraged, devastated, and heartbroken. But this time, she was devastated about the unspeakable tragedy continuing to unfold in Gaza, adding that the Israeli military has inflicted devastation on staggering numbers of innocent Palestinian children, families, and civilians in Gaza. She called for an immediate ceasefire and pledged to always listen and fully consider the perspective of Israel's enemies. That's amazing. Oops.
Hey, don't scroll away. Come back. Because before the video continues, we just want to urge you to lend your support to TYT. You power our honest reporting. You do it at tyt.com/team, and we love you for it.
Yep. To me, this is the perfect story about American politics.
Yep.
Look, mainstream media treats politicians like they belong on a pedestal. They're honorable people having legitimate debates, and they're worthy of a lot of respect, okay?
That they're people with values. That's the thing that's the big lie here, right? That these are individuals who have deeply held values that inform the way that they lead the country or lead their district.
Yeah, in reality, I don't think the politicians are the best of us. I think they're the worst of us.
Agreed.
And so this is a great example. I mean, look at how disingenuous this is. And after this story, the mainstream media will go back to covering her as if she's a real person with real opinions. She doesn't have any opinions. Almost none of these politicians do. So they have 2, like in this case, she has 2 different sets of letters for different sets of constituencies. What's her actual position? No one knows. No one, I'm not sure she knows, right? But oftentimes they have 2 sets of letters, one for the donors and one for the voters. And the voters one's like, oh my God, we care so much, and we the middle class, and we care, oh, we gotta make it easier for your family and take care of your costs and stuff. And to the donors, they go, we promise we'll never cut your, we'll never increase your taxes. We will funnel all the money to you. Your subsidies are great. We'll deregulate, don't worry, nothing will fundamentally change. So I'm sick of these politicians. You should, like, mainstream media assumes that if a politician says something, that it's true, it can be disproven, and then they're like, whoa, look at this. Oh my God, George Santos is lying. Oh, look at those lies by Donald Trump. No, the normal assumption should be if a politician is speaking, they're lying. And if they somehow, it turns out they're honest, you're like, whoa, look at that, Bernie Sanders was honest there. That's, to me, that's shocking. That's why we like Bernie, right? That's why I respect Thomas Massie, who's completely on the other end of the political spectrum, because at least he's honest, right? That's the exception, it's not the rule. The rule is Congresswoman Wild with her 2 sets of letters saying the exact opposite things.
I mean, there's something sociopathic about really not having any view on this. Or just relying on stock letters that you send to your constituents depending on where they're coming from and in the way they correspond with you. And look, she is in a little bit of a tough spot because she wants to win re-election and she happens to be in a swing district where there's a pretty substantial Arab population in addition to an engaged Jewish community. And so that's why she has the 2 stalked letters. That's the reason why she doesn't really have any values on this issue. She's gonna she wants to be everything to everyone in order to win re-election, right? And so it was a pretty bad mistake for her. Redistricting, by the way, has kind of hurt her and made the race in that district a lot more competitive. So it added the pro-Trump Carbon County to her swing district. She's a lawmaker in Pennsylvania. So she has made matters worse for herself, by the way, because she has had some choice words for people in that district. She was quoted as follows. Earlier this year, Wild was caught on a Zoom call deriding the county's residents as bigots who drank the Trump Kool-Aid. In 2022, she was also caught on tape saying she needed to school Carbon County residents for their support of Trump.
Well, look, I don't mind that as long as you defend it, right? And you go, look, this is why I'm pissed at you guys. And look, the way I would say it is, guys, I want to get you guys higher wages and health care. Trump's in my way. Why are you supporting him? Why did you drink the Trump Kool-Aid? But then I would respect her because she at least has some sort of, principle and fights for it. But that's not what she's gonna do. She says that stuff behind the scenes and then in front of the scenes, oh, are you Trump? I got 2 different letters for you. Okay, I got a letter probably kissing Trump's ass somewhere in that file.
By the way, what's Wild's Kool-Aid? I wanna know, like, who's gonna drink your Kool-Aid? What do you stand for?
Nothing. That her Kool-Aid is, where's the money? Okay, so look, last thing. How do they decide which letter to send? Think about it. Because they have 2 different letters, but they don't know the policy positions of the constituent writing in. If the constituent writes in with a certain one, okay, that's easy, right?
Right.
But if not, are they looking to see if there's Jewish names or Middle Eastern sounding names or Muslim sounding names? That's terrible. And notice the older person got the pro-Israel letter.
True.
The younger person got the, pro-Palestine, pro both sides, whatever, however you pro-peace letter, right?
Yeah.
So this is so dumb, but very normal in politics. You will hear this story and everyone else in media will laugh and go, oh, what a crazy congressperson, and make it seem like it's the exception. No, this is the rule. Thanks for watching the video, guys. We also love it if you hit the join button below because that makes you a member, and members allow us to be independent, honest. We can be as progressive as we want, no corporate media influence, and that's all because of you guys. We love doing the show with our members. Hit the join button, become one of the Young Turks.